Well, the first thing you got to do when you come in, you got to stop at this desk. Okay, the lady behind the counter is going to help you get the lane assignment and your shoes. So you need to ask her if there's a lane available, what lane you can use, and shoe size. Now, you need to know your shoe size, because if you don't know your shoe size, you're going to have to take your shoes off. All right.
Hi.
Is there a lane available?
Yes, there is. What's your shoe size?
11.
11? There you go. And how many games are you going to do? Two? Okay, we're going to put you on lane 16.
All right, very good. Now let's go to the lane. Okay, the first thing you're going to do is put your shoes on. Go ahead and put them on. You need to put your shoes on before you go and pick up a ball, because you're going to take that ball and put it on the rack on the approach. And you don't want to walk up there with street shoes on. When you put your shoes on, you have to have socks on before you put on bowling shoes, because those bowling shoes can be worn by a lot of other people, and you need to protect Sharon whatever you've got or may not have. You also need to protect yourself by wearing socks, so you have to have a pair of socks. You come to the bowling alley without socks on your feet, make sure you got a pair in your hand. Now that we have our shoes on, let's go select the ball. Now the first thing you want to select when you're selecting the ball is how heavy should the ball be. There's a general rule that you use 10 times your weight, but that gets pretty big when you're my size. A bowling alley has balls from 8 pounds to 16 pounds. The heaviest ball they'll find in a bowling alley is 16. The way to choose it is to start off lifting it and then hold it in your hand like this. If you can hold it like that, you're okay. Okay, if it pushes you down, it's too heavy. If you can hold it easily, it's too light. Second thing, you want to check for the holes in the bowling alley, or bowling ball. There are 3 holes. The big hole is for your thumb. The 2 other holes are for the 2 middle fingers, like so. Okay, so if you want to find the right size thumb hole first, stick your thumb in. If you can't get it in, it's too small. If it gets in and it wobbles around, it's too big. So you put it in and you spin the ball. Okay, her thumb moves all the way around. Secondly, put your thumb in. Lay your hands out. No. You need to. Your hand, in order to find out if these holes are close enough to the thumb hole, you need to lay your hand on like this and make sure that the middle knuckle is to that hole. This is a little wide for her. She needs a little narrower grip. Okay? So she will need to look for another ball that when she lays her hand on it, that hole is at the middle knuckle. Like so. Okay. Now that we've got our bowling ball, we're going to go up and put it on the bowling rack. Now, we're going to talk a little bit about what is the lane. Basically, from these dots to the first part of the narrow part of the lane is called the approach. If you notice, you've got dots on the approach. You've got basically 3 sets of those. This set is 12 feet from the foul line, or the beginning of the lane, and that set is 9 feet from the beginning of that lane. Okay? There's a gutter on the right, there's a gutter on the left. If you look down, you'll see arrows partway down the lane. Those arrows are between 9 and 12 feet away from the foul line. Down there you'll see the pins. Where they're sitting is called the pin deck. between the foul line and the beginning of the pin deck is 60 feet. The bowling alley is 39 plus. It's not 40 inches and it's not 39 inches. It's a little more than 39 inches wide. And each board on the lane is 1 inch. You look at these dots. That center dot lines up with that center arrow. They're all lined up. They all match on the same board. The dots to the right and to the left of the center are 5 boards to the left or 5 boards to the right. On the dots and the arrows. Okay? Okay, one of the things in one of the most dangerous parts of the bowling sport is the return. You roll the ball down the lane, it knocks down pins, and it automatically comes back, and it'll come out here. Don't stick your fingers in there. Don't put your head down here. Don't look down in there. Let the ball come back. If you stand here, you're safe. In addition to that, when you go to get your ball off the bowling rack, take your ball up, then put your thumb in and your fingers in. Don't do this. Because that ball coming in can hit your finger and smash your finger. So you pick the ball up and then put your fingers in. Okay?
Yeah, okay.
Okay, if you notice, there's a row of dots, another row of dots, and I told you before that this was 15 feet and 12 feet. There's also a row of dots right up at the foul line, but there's only 5 of them. Out on the lane, you see a set of 7 arrows. Those arrows are 12 feet from the foul line. Those pins are 60 feet from the foul line. It's easier to hit a target 12 feet than it is 60 feet. So if you know how your ball plays and how it rolls, you can use those arrows to make sure you hit the pocket consistently. Okay? To hit the pocket consistently, you've got to deliver the ball the same when it hits the pocket. The pocket is that between the 1 pin and the 2 and the 3 pin. You hit the pocket this way, and left-handed will hit the pocket this way. Okay? Now, we're going to talk a little bit about scoring. In bowling, scoring is accumulative. In other words, what you get on that first ball is added to the second ball, is added to the third ball, added to the fourth ball. But there are a couple of interesting rules. When you have a spare, and it's indicated like this, which means she got 8 pins on the first ball, and then she got the other 2 pins on the second ball. Now, when you get that, you don't put the score down there. You don't add a 2 yet, because that's 10 points. But because you got a spare, you get the next ball. Now, the next ball, they got 9 pins. So, to the 24, we add 19. That gets us to 43. Okay? So then he got only the 9 pins. He missed that pin. So then we can add the 9 in because it's not a spare and it's not a strike. In 6, they got a strike. When you get a strike, you get 2 balls added to that 10, because that's 10 points. Well, the next one, they got another strike. That's only 1 ball. 1 ball added 2. Then in lane 8, they got another strike. So it's 10, 20, 30, added to the 52, which makes 82. And in lane 7, they got 10 and 6, so you add 16 to the 108, and that gives you 127. No, I'm sorry, and the 3, so you get 9. So you get 1, 2, 3, which is 19, added to the 108, and it gets you 127. Okay? got 5 on the first ball. Now she picked up 4 more. Which gives her a score of 9. Okay? That's what in bowling terms is called an open frame. Now, you see the X? That means she got a strike. So she will get the next 2 balls that she rolls. Regardless of what the score is, you add it to that 10 to add to the 9. The 7. You notice they haven't added it yet. There's no score at the bottom of lane 2. Now she picked up 1 more pin, so they took 18, 10 and 8, added it to 9, got 27, and then she did not get the spare, so they add the 8 to the 27 to get 35.
Okay.
Okay, she's in the 10th frame. There are some special rules with the 10th frame. The spare and strike rule still applies for 1 frame, so we'll see how she does. Okay, she gets 8. That'll get put in that first box. Okay, she gets a 1 in this box. If she would have gotten a spare, that would have had an angle line and she would have gotten to roll another ball. By the same token, if you get a strike on the first ball, you will get 2 more balls to roll. So you can basically strike, strike, strike at the end of the game. Okay, now we're ready to bowl. Now we're ready to have some fun. Go ahead and pick up your ball. Now the first thing you want to do is you want to put your 2 fingers in the finger hole. And then pull it up, put your thumb in. Now you want to hold that ball to the side. Not in front of you, not above you, not down here, but arm straight, wrist flat, hand flat. You don't want your hand turned this way, that way, you want it flat. Okay? Now, she is going to line up a little arrow with her foot. And she is going to try to throw the ball over the first arrow to the right of center. And this is her first time rolling the ball. So we're going to see what happens. Okay? As she steps forward. Okay. She hit that arrow, but the ball went to the left. Okay? So what we'll do is we will move her 3 boards to the left of the middle dot. So she will come over here and put her foot instead of on the middle dot and hit that little arrow. Okay? Go ahead and try it again. And since the head pin, the number 1 pin is still there, we want to bowl like we're bowling our first ball. 3 boards, not 3 dots. 3 boards. There you go. Now hit that arrow again. Now, if we got that, she missed her arrow. She was left of the center arrow, so we didn't get our pin. Okay? Now, if you notice, the ball is coming back to us. Going back on the return. Okay? And basically, that's bowling. Okay? Now, one more thing. Get your ball. Get your ball. There are two strides, or two approaches to letting the ball go. It's called a 4-step or a 5-step. We're going to demonstrate a 4-step approach to you now. If you're doing a 4-step approach, you will start with the same foot that has the ball. Same foot on the side where the ball is. The same. If you're right-handed, it'll be the right foot. If it's left-handed, you'll be the left foot that you start with for a 4-step approach. So, 1, 2, 3, 4. Okay? That's the 4-step. 5-step, you would start with the opposite foot. So a 5-step would start with, if you're right-handed, you would start with your left foot. And usually it's a small step. Okay, now we're going to talk a little bit more about the bowling movement of your arm. You need to come straight back, straight forward. And when you come through, you want to come up with that thumb. You want a handshake approach. So when you come up, it's, how you doing? Okay, and that thumb is coming right up at your head. Thumb come right up to your head. Okay, let's try. Notice you've got the ball on the right side. She rolled it right over that arrow. If you noticed, when she came back outward, out here. Instead of straight back, she came out. And when she came through, she came across her body, which caused that ball to be further out than her stride and her steps or approach, and caused the ball to go left. Okay, if she rolls it and comes straight up, like the cheap tomahawk, comes straight up, and it goes straight. Like that. Ooh. Almost. Good job. Okay. That's how you bowl. You got to make adjustments. You got to make sure you know where your hand is. Okay. Where is it going back? Where is it coming forward? If you swing it out, you're going to swing it back in. You're going to pull it that way. If you swing it back here, you're going to have a tendency to push it out to the right. Okay. Hope you have fun bowling. Hope you learned something. Get you started. We want to thank Sterling Bowl and all the people here for allowing us to do this. Thanks Shaquana Hobbs and Kathy Lowry for helping us out, and Alan doing the recording. So, Mike Lowry, thank you a lot.